That was not a plan, that was not an intention, that was not supposed to happen like that. Initially I was told that, the wrap party was something they didn't want to attend. And then about an hour into the wrap party, they decided they wanted to. And so I was genuinely just gonna have a conversation before, and then it just led to another. They straight up asked me if I was happy, and I said no. And one thing led to another, and that conversation did take place there.
We need to talk about what's going down with JoJo Siwa right now. Ever since she walked out of that Big Brother house, it's been straight up chaos. First off, boom, she cut ties with her partner Kath Ebbs, just like that. But that was just the beginning. JoJo's been all over the place doing interviews, and the tea she's spilling, it's wild. Now she's even dropping hints about where things stand between her and Chris. The drama didn't end with the show. Nah, it exploded. People everywhere are chiming in. Some folks are saying, she's young, let her grow, while others aren't buying it and claim she played Kath real bad while still locked inside that Big Brother house. It's a split crowd. And get this, while she was in there for almost 3 weeks, JoJo had some major light bulb moments. She straight up said she realized she's not a lesbian, but queer. Yup, she's been doing some deep thinking. Not just about her relationships, but about her whole career too. Talk about a personal reboot. What do you think? Was JoJo just figuring herself out? Or did she cross a line? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't hold back. And hey, if you're into this kind of juicy update, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss the drama. So here's what really stirred the pot. JoJo had nothing but time in that Big Brother house. No phone, no distractions, just her thoughts, and a whole lot of soul-searching. But what really got people talking? Her super close bond with fellow housemate Chris Hughes. And yeah, it raised a lot of eyebrows, especially since she had a whole partner, Kath Ebbs, waiting on the outside. JoJo went in booed up, but on the show, she and Chris were acting real cozy. Cuddles, forehead kisses, the whole soft touch vibe. Fans were like, what is this? People weren't buying that it was just friendly. Even though JoJo later said it was purely platonic, the public wasn't convinced. Many felt she blurred some serious lines, and it stung for Kath. Then came the bombshell. Kath dropped that JoJo ended things with her at the show's wrap party. Yup, right after it all ended. And get this, Kath had flown all the way to the UK to support JoJo. She said she felt completely blindsided and embarrassed by how it all went down, especially with the breakup being so sudden and public. But here's where it gets messier. Post-show, JoJo's been everywhere with Chris. Spotted together in public, posting tennis pics on Instagram like it's just another sunny day, and doing interviews side by side. And in those interviews, JoJo's been defending herself, explaining what went down in the house, and saying the experience helped her grow. She claims she's discovering more about who she is, even though a lot of folks are saying that self-growth came with a price, mainly Kath's feelings. What's your take on all this? Sound off in the comments, hit that like button if you're following the JoJo Chris chaos, and don't forget to subscribe for more drama updates. Let's break down what JoJo's been saying lately, and trust, the internet is not holding back. On this morning, JoJo and Chris sat down together for an interview, and the way she laid things out? Whew! She said being in the Big Brother house gave her this huge moment of clarity. Basically, she realized what needed to change in her life so she could finally feel good and live fully. And yeah, it kind of sounded like she was saying, I knew I had to break up with Kath to be happy. Imagine hearing that from someone who was supposed to be your partner. Talk about a punch to the gut. JoJo also opened up about how the breakup went down, at the show's wrap party no less. She admitted it happened less than an hour after reuniting with Kath. She claims it wasn't planned to be so abrupt or public, but that's just how it all unfolded. She didn't mean to drop the bomb that fast. But there it was. Then came the moment everyone was waiting for, questions about her and Chris. When asked about their connection, Chris called it a soulmate friendship, insisting they're just friends. But then JoJo got hit with the question, "Do you want it to be more than just friends?" And what did she say? She didn't give a straight answer, just left it hanging in the air, and people noticed. What do you think? Is this a friendship or something more? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you're hooked, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next twist. JoJo keeps saying it's just platonic between her and Chris, but she also tossed in this cryptic line like, life will do what life does, and that she's just grateful for the friendship. Huh? Sounds like she's keeping her options wide open, right? Then on the Useless Hotline podcast, things got even spicier. JoJo got asked straight up if Chris had been flirting with her in the house. Because at the start of the show, a lot of viewers felt like Chris was definitely laying on the charm, and JoJo? She seemed to be putting him in the friend zone. But as the days rolled on, people started seeing JoJo leaning into it too. Folks were tweeting stuff like, "Tired of people acting like this Chris and JoJo thing is one-sided," and dropping clips from the live stream to back it up. But JoJo shut that talk down on the podcast. She said it was all just playful banter between them. Nothing serious, just good old goofy housemate energy. Still, fans weren't totally convinced. Then they brought up two wild moments from the show. First, the mysterious message JoJo wrote on Chris's hand. Viewers were buzzing, thinking maybe it was some kind of love note, like maybe she wrote, "I love you," or something cryptic. But JoJo swore that wasn't the case. She said she wrote a bunch of stuff during her time in the house and didn't even remember what that one was. But she confirmed it wasn't those 4 letters. And then, brace yourself, they talked about the litter box incident. Yep, you read that right. There was this huge litter box inside the Big Brother house as part of some weird setup, and JoJo and Chris thought it'd be hilarious to both pee in it at the same time. Like, what? Naturally, the internet went nuts. People were like, "What the actual heck is going on over there?" So, do you think it's really all just friendship? Or is there more to this wild ride? Hit that like button if you're still following, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping updates. I still can't believe some of the stuff they were doing. JoJo and Chris were seriously close in that house. Like, really close. And sure, JoJo keeps saying it was all just jokes and being funny. But let's be real. A lot of people watching were like, this is kinda weird. On that same podcast, JoJo opened up about some heavy stuff too. She talked about going through difficult realizations while she was locked in the house, real ones that hit hard. One big moment? She realized she needed to break up with Kath. But with all those cameras around, she had to bite her tongue. She said those last 48 hours in the house were rough because she couldn't just blurt out, "I want to break up with Kath." So, she stayed quiet and tried to keep it together, even though it was eating her up inside. Now here's where it gets real interesting. She admits she was super aware of the cameras watching her every move. But still, a lot of viewers were like, if she knew she was being watched, then why act like that with Chris? People saw the tension, the body language, the moments between JoJo and Chris, and figured the writing was already on the wall. Her and Kath were probably done the second she stepped out of the house. JoJo may say she was holding back, but fans think she should have held back a whole lot more. They feel like she could have shown more respect to the relationship she still had at the time, especially if she truly cared about how Kath would feel seeing all that unfold on national TV. What's your opinion? Was JoJo being careless or just caught in a tough situation? Hit that like button if you're still following this saga, drop a comment with your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe. This drama is far from over. Things have been getting real messy online, and Kath isn't staying quiet. They've been reposting a ton of TikTok videos to get their side of the story out there, and it's only adding more heat to the fire. Just recently, Kath opened up about how the breakup actually went down. And guess what? JoJo's other ex, Avery, even reposted Kath's video. So now we've got two exes chiming in, and it's getting louder by the day. One of Kath's reposts really had people talking. It said, POV, you're watching a 21-year-old girl getting manipulated by a 30-year-old man who just pretended to be her safe space, then discarded her when she wouldn't reciprocate on international TV, even though she's lesbian and in a full relationship. And you've got no one to talk to about this, even though you predicted this would happen. Oof, that one hit. This whole thing has fed into a bigger convo happening online. People are starting to say that Chris might have just been playing the Big Brother game. Like, maybe he acted close to JoJo to get ahead in the house, but once the cameras are off, folks are doubting whether he'll keep that same energy. Some even think he won't vibe with the way JoJo presents herself online or in real life. Basically, there's serious suspicion that the whole thing might have been one-sided, and JoJo's the one who might be left holding the bag. Now, for JoJo's sake, a lot of people are hoping her and Chris stay tight friends after all this. Because if he does ghost her or things fall apart, it could hit her hard. She made some big moves in that house, and it looks like those choices could leave her with real regrets if the friendship doesn't hold up. Oh, and to make it even more emotional, Kath reposted an old interview clip where JoJo was gushing about her love for Kath, just hours before entering Big Brother UK. Can you believe that timing? If you're still keeping up with this roller coaster, hit that like button, sound off in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, because this saga just keeps getting deeper. And now, brace yourself, because things just took another sharp turn. People are now digging up even more footage from before JoJo entered the Big Brother house, trying to connect the dots between what she said back then and how she acted once the cameras were rolling. It's turning into a full-on timeline analysis across TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter. Fans are turning into detectives. Some viewers are pointing out that JoJo's sudden emotional clarity in the house seems too convenient. Like, how do you go from being in love with Kath one minute to sharing forehead kisses with Chris the next? One clip that's making the rounds shows JoJo talking about how committed she was to Kath, smiling, calling her my person, and all that. Now, fast forward just days later, and she's tangled in this complicated soulmate friendship with Chris. The contrast? It's shocking. Meanwhile, others are taking Chris to task too. Some believe he knew exactly what he was doing, playing the perfect shoulder to cry on, giving her attention, building trust, and maybe even using JoJo's vulnerability to boost his own image in the house. A few fans even called it emotional strategy. That's a cold move if it's true. The public opinion? Completely split. Some people still ride for JoJo, saying she's just young and trying to find herself. But others? They feel like she's dodging accountability and treating people's hearts like stepping stones. And if Chris really does fade away now that the cameras are off, that's only gonna make the whole thing look worse. So, what do you think? Is this all just growing pains or a messy PR disaster? Drop your take in the comments, hit that like button if you're here for the real talk, and make sure you subscribe, because you know this drama isn't done unraveling. Whew, this one really didn't age well. In an old interview that's now resurfacing, JoJo is heard talking super highly about her relationship with Kath. She's glowing, saying things like, "I was sad, the most amazing, beautiful," and it's clear she meant it at the time. But the twist? That same clip ends with shots of JoJo and Chris in the Big Brother house, getting close in ways that had people questioning everything she just said. And just to be clear, Kath is the one who posted this. So that alone speaks volumes. They're showing the receipts and making their feelings known without saying a single extra word. Now, yeah, some folks are still defending JoJo. They're saying she's young, she's going through a lot, and being in that house with no phone, no distractions, and no outside noise gave her space to really think about her life. A few even say she needed that break to figure out who she is and what she wants. And hey, fair enough, right? But then there's the other side of the internet. People who are watching this all play out and saying, nah, this was cold. They feel for Kath. They say no matter JoJo's age, the way things went down was just plain hurtful. Like, imagine flipping on the TV and watching your partner share forehead kisses with someone else while you're still committed. That stings. People are saying, if the roles were reversed, JoJo would be livid. And it doesn't stop there. In her interviews, JoJo also talked about making career-changing decisions while in the house. Her mom and her team apparently hit her with a, wait, what? Because after just 18 days, she was ready to flip the script on everything. Wild, right? So now we're all waiting to see where this takes her. Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think JoJo's just growing and figuring herself out? Or was this whole thing way too messy, no matter how you spin it? Hit that like button if you're still following the drama, smash subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, and sound off below. I want to hear all your takes.